everyone is dealt a different hand of cards when they're born. Some might be born into poverty, some might be born into war, famine. But life is inherently unfair. And no matter how much we complain, no matter how much we might be hurt, life is unfair. But the greatest equalizer in life, as in being human, is time. Time is the greatest equalizer. Because over time, you can still overcome the challenges that you face. The cards that you've been dealt, if they're not the best, you can still make up for it through hard work over an extended period of time. Say you have two people. One is born into wealth. One has wealthy parents. He has basically everything given to him. Everything given to him in terms of healthy food, in terms of an education. And then let's say we take another person. Let's give these people names, that way it's easy to follow. Let's call the first one Stephen. Let's call the second one like Xavier or something. Okay, so Xavier is born into poverty. Xavier is born into poverty. He might only have a single parent. Maybe he has a single mom. And they both live in, let's say, like England, somewhere, like in Bristol, like where I grew up as a kid. Now, let's take Stephen. Stephen is very comfortable. He's comfortable because of his family's wealth. He doesn't feel like trying as hard. But Xavier isn't like that. Xavier knows that he needs to grow up faster. He needs to become something to help his mom, to help himself. So he tries a lot harder. And over time, the first 16, 17 years isn't really that important because it's very hard for you as a person to make decisions because most of the decisions are made for you. But let's take them at 17. So Xavier gets a gym membership. Xavier gets into a university and does really well in his final exams in high school. Maybe Xavier's going to do engineering. So here's that. But Stephen, he doesn't want to do any of that. He doesn't go to university. He doesn't look after himself. And let's say that every day Xavier gets up and he has his morning routine. He gets up, he writes down his goals for the day, and then he meditates for 3 to 5 minutes. And then he goes for a run. Then he comes back. He reads for an hour. Then he studies for university. And then let's say later on in the day, he goes to the gym. And then he sleeps at a good time. He gets 8 hours of sleep. But Stephen, he's not doing that. He's just sleeping until the middle of the day. He's waking up at 12. He's going out with his friends. He's partying. He's taking drugs. He's getting drunk. If they follow that similar path, let's say they follow that same, routine for 10 years, or heck, or even 20 years, think of how far Xavier is. Even though Stephen wasn't actually born into adversity, he didn't try to become better. But Xavier is going to be in a far better place. Xavier is going to get more money. He's going to get a better job. He's going to get so many more things. He's going to be healthier. And Xavier be kind of reflecting as a person through journaling, through meditation as well. He's going to have better relationships in his life. Whereas Stephen, he doesn't know what a healthy relationship is like because his life is in shambles. He's not looking after himself. And the reason why I bring up these two, examples of people, analogies, is because you can exponentially get better compared to the average person. The average person is Stephen. Most people in general, they don't try. They don't try hard. They don't really live up to the potential that they have. They don't work as hard as they should work. They don't plan as well as they should plan. They procrastinate. And I'm not trying to act like I'm better. I'm very similar, right? I'm just trying to get better. I'm trying to do the things that make me improve as a person. But if you're like Xavier and you continuously try and improve yourself, you're not going to improve in a linear fashion. You're going to improve in an exponential fashion. Exponentially. It might be very slow. for the first 5 years. Yeah, let's say even 5 to 10 years. But then you're going to reach a point where all the work that you've done is going to accumulate and accumulate and accumulate, and it's just going to like increase so drastically. So if you focus on doing the right habits each day, you'll exponentially get better than the average man or the average woman, right? Because I know that both men and women watch this channel. And if you just put in that effort, put in the effort to build those healthy habits, build those great habits when you're young, or even if you're like a bit older as well. Like I think anything under 45 is relatively young. I guess it's like half your age, considering that most people now are going to live to like 80 to 90. You can still develop so many, I guess, good traits and continue that forward. Imagine at 50. Imagine how much further Xavier is at 50. He'll be in such a good place compared to Stephen. Even though Stephen was born into wealth, Xavier wasn't. Xavier grew up faster. He worked harder. He looked after his mom. He looked after his future family. You want to be more like Xavier. You want to be more like that. And everyone watching this video, like, you know exactly what you want to be like. I know you know what you want to be like. You know that the person that you truly want to be is looking at you right now and they're a little bit disappointed. They're disappointed because you're not working hard enough. You're not looking after yourself. You're not staying true to the person that you really should be, right? The person that you ought to be, like the habits that your ideal self would have. You're just not living up to it yet. It's okay now, but if you can develop those habits, really make an effort, especially going into 2024, really make an effort to be the best version of yourself. Right? It sounds really cliche, I know, but really be the best version of yourself for your sake, for your parents' sake, for your siblings if you have siblings, for your friends if you have friends, for even just society in general. Like, the world needs the best version of you. So just become the best. The world needs the best version of you. So become the best version of yourself.